This is Shane Watson here from PSC Sports. I'm lucky enough to be joined by Tom Not So Little. How are you, Tom?
How's it going? You alright?
Yeah, all good, all good. Seeing you doing a final bit of preparation ahead of Saturday night. Latvia, Riga, Hrgovic, Tom Little. Hit me with it.
Didn't feel too good today, to be honest with you. Felt a bit shit. But no, yeah, good fight, big stage. Big performance from a little man. So yeah, they just can't wait. Just can't wait to go over there and like I said earlier, the hard work's done now. It's just I'll go and put it in on the night, go and do everything that I've been working on doing. Do you know what I mean? Filip's a good fighter, brilliant fighter as he goes. Very good background. So I've got to be able to beat guys like him to go where I want to go. So I've done the preparation, I've done everything properly. Now it is just left to me to go and do whether I can pull it under the lodge.
How would you say working with Don Charles? I know you used to work with Ben Davidson, but maybe like the distance and stuff away from your family wasn't the best thing for you at the time. So now you're with Don Charles. How's that? The
thing is, it weren't too hard to transition. It weren't like I've changed trainers last minute, because I've worked with Don on off all through my career. I've always been up here helping him with Derek with sparring and stuff. So I've got a good rapport with Don anyway. So it weren't like, oh, I've got to go and get a relationship with a new trainer and everything. And listen, Ben, like, the footwork, the groundwork that Ben's put into me and everything, the success that I've shared with Ben, it's still going to come through on this fight. Don's changed a little few things in me, which you will see on the night. Increased my power quite a bit, to be fair. But like I said, I've got the best of both worlds. I've got a wealth of experience from Don, and I've still got the stuff that I've been working on with Ben that ain't just been forgot about. So yeah, I just had to come and move in, because like you said, the distance, it was just, I couldn't do it. But when Ben got the offer to train Tyson, Ben had say himself, I was the first person to say to him, you've got to do it, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the biggest job in boxing. And Ben's my friend first, and he was my trainer second. Do you know what I mean? And I'd always support him in whatever he done, especially in boxing. I just hope Ben gets the dues he deserves as a trainer.
Yeah, because we've seen in the past when Ben helps out at late notice on Billy Joe's corner, he got a lot of stick.
He got a lot of stick, and Billy Joe would be the first person to say, that it weren't Ben. Well, Billy Joe has come on record before and said it wasn't nothing to do with Ben with what happened there. Ben just was a good friend to him and helped him out when he was in a bit of stick. But yeah, but trust me, Ben, in a couple of years' time, Ben will be known as one of the top trainers to come out off the British Isles. Honestly, listen, you know yourself, I've worked with Ben, and me and him clicked like house on fire, and he genuinely has brought the best out of me on a number of occasions. So I have no doubt that he will do massive things in boxing.
Also, you were supposed to fight Joyce in December. Obviously, David Hay pulled out of the card due to, I think, falling on the staircase, and he grabbed the balancer, ripped his bicep. So that obviously, due to that, the card was pulled off. Now, I believe that Joyce and that was still interested in fighting you. Apparently, that's what's been said.
Well, are they or are they not? I don't think they want it, personally myself. I don't think they want it. But I want to go and get one Olympian out of the way first. Then afterwards, do I really need Joyce? That's the thing. Unless they throw a shed load of money at me for the fight, then we'll fight. But if I beat one Olympian, I can go out on the look for bigger fights. Do you know what I mean? Not being disrespectful to anyone out earning a living, but I'm not just out to fight prospects. That ain't the sort of road that I'm going down. I want to beat this fella to prove my worth as a fighter, and then I want to, hopefully, God willing, get a shot at something against an already established fighter, a name that's already there, which, if I believe rightly, I should be mandatory for a decent title after this fight. God willing, come through it with the result that I believe I will get. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll have a think. I just want to get Saturday out the way first, and then there's plenty of time to sit down and have a chat. But different day, different deal. That's the way I look at it.
I mean, also Dave Allen and Leonard Thomas have been announced for a rematch in Sheffield. I know Dave Allen's a fight you really wanted. I know even Leonard Thomas is a fight you've spoken about before.
Either one of them, I don't. It's not the fight, it's not the people. It's what it's worth, and they're in my path to where I want to get to. Now, every fighter wants to be the best in the world. That's where you want to get to. But what you do is you look who's in your path. But there's many different avenues you can go down. But the path that I would like to go would be get this fight out of the way, winner of Dave Allen and Roy Thomas, that there, then move on down that way. But like I said, let's get Saturday out of the way first, and then we'll see. It's just getting people to fight, and it ain't even the fight. It's just the boxing politics. It's absolute bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. But just to put on record, my signature goes to the highest bidder. The biggest promotional contract wants to come at me after I thump an Olympian up.
What a lot of fighters do these days in boxing, because there's so many titles compared to the olden days. Like the olden days, you would have to go down the English, the British, well, Southern area first, and then European title. But now people get shortcuts with international titles, like WBC International, WBO European, that kind of thing. Is that something you'd be interested in?
I'll go down any route that makes sense. Any route that makes sense. If someone comes to me, like say for instance a promoter comes to me and says, right Tom, this is where I'm going to get you, this is what's at offer, you're going to have to do this, that and the other. If it makes sense and it's the best, if it's fighting for international titles, belts to me, unless you've got a world title belt, or to me the British title is a very special belt. To me that's something that's special to me, do you know what I mean? Like that's something I'd love to fight for. Any of the others really couldn't care about. Genuinely couldn't care about a Southern area title, an English title, I couldn't care. Because it's no good when you've got a family around you. It's no good saying, yeah, that a belt ain't gonna feed them. The money that you fight for the belt for will. So that's all I care. What is going to be most financially rewarding, and also leave a legacy behind me. So that's what route I want to go. Shitloads of money, beat shitloads of men up, and be paid handsomely for the privilege.
So Sam Sexton, who is the British heavyweight champion, is that someone you're confident of beating right now, and someone that you want to be fighting in the near future?
Do you know what? I wouldn't chat shit about Sam, and I wouldn't chat shit because I get on very well with him and his team. Like I've spent a lot of time with Graham Everett and stuff. Sam's there for fights. He'd be up. I know he'd be up for taking fight. If the fight comes up, with me, myself and Sam, we're very much of the same mind. If it makes money, it makes perfect sense to us to fight, right? British title aside. Now, I think it's safe to say neither one of us got TV backing, so there's no money, so there's no money in the fight, if you understand what I'm saying. So that ain't really a fight that makes sense. Whereas a fight with Joyce, a fight with Joyce, for me, is worth more money than the fight with Sam Sexton. Whereas Sam Sexton, if you look at it in another sense, which takes money out of it, Sam Sexton should be worth, on paper, the fight should be worth more. But realistically, the fight with Joyce is worth more money than the fight with Sam Sexton. So it don't, and unless one of us gets a massive TV backer, then that's sort of on the back burner. That's why nobody's really speaking about the fight with Sam. That's why nobody really speaks about saying. How many people do you hear saying, "I would fight Tom Little"? None, do you? You don't hear. Yeah, did you ever hear people say, "I want to fight Tom Little. I want to go down that route. That's who I want to fight"? And let me tell you something. Well, could be because I can fight, why people don't really want to fight me. Or I'll tell you exactly what it is. I've not got no TV backers, and there's not a big pot of gold resembling my name. That's what it is. Why do you listen? Let's have it right. I won't chat shit. I'm a straight up person. Why do you think people want to fight every heavyweight in the British Isles wants to fight Dave Allen? Do you think if he didn't have Matchroom backing him, people would still want to fight him? People wouldn't care about him.
Well, yeah, I remember a little bit before he signed with Matchroom. He back in the early days when he was working with Peter Fury a little bit, he didn't fight a lot then. I know he was traveling places like Bulgaria and stuff to fight, because obviously you can get it with any kind of boxer nowadays. There's a lot of top quality boxers out there who struggle because they haven't got the right kind of promoter or manager behind them to.
Of course. It's all about pull. It's all about power. I'm telling you now, boxing is like the mafia, and do not get it. I'm not mincing my words, not one bit. If you ain't in with the right click, you're going nowhere, and that is the cold hard fact of boxing. If you ain't in with the right click, or you upset the wrong person, you ain't going out. You will get door after door shut in your face, and that is it. You've got a bit. Obviously, you've got to have talent, and you've got to have something that people got to be able to sell you. They've got to be able to sell you to a public. That's why they made a fortune with Joshua and that. But unless you've got the backing, you get some people. You have a look. You go around some of these small shows, you will see lads that can't really sell a lot of tickets. They're barely selling enough. A lot of lads fighting for absolute nothing, as long as they pay for their opponent. But the kids can fight. They can fight, but nobody wants to know, because if you don't put bums on seats, you ain't worth no money to no promoter.
I think a good example of that is, I think you remember the Irish amateur who was silver medalist. He actually lost to Luke Campbell in the final, John Joe Nevin. He is 8-0 now, but he literally fights in quite small hall shows. But really, he's a silver medalist from Ireland who lost against Luke Campbell in the final, who should be an elite fighter, really.
Should be getting the recognition there, but that's it. You can see so many good fighters go by the wayside, and it's a shame. It is a shame, and it's just it's an horrible thing to say, but it's the horrible way of the world. Like it's business. Do you know what I mean? Unless they view they can do something with you, and I'm talking about all the promoters. I'm not just singling one promoter out. Frank, Eddie Earn, all of them. Unless they can do something with you, unless you're a draw. Look, that boy's got, who you just mentioned, got a massive part of his life to an amateur career, to win a silver medal, and he's going around fighting on small shows. Might as well not bother. Might as well have had a couple of white collar fights and went and turned over with some anybody manager and promoter, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? What was the point in him going to the Olympics to have to do what he's had to do? I think that's disgusting. That's not a good advertisement for boxing and amateur boxing, really, is it? Serve your apprenticeship like that and then have to struggle like every other poor sod. But what's different with you anyway? Who else you interviewed? What's been happening? Let me ask you some questions.
Go on, then.
How long's your knob?
Too long to tell.
No, who else you been interviewing?
Everyone, Joseph Parker recently.
What was he saying?
Do you know what? I went up to Joseph Parker's hotel.
He seems like a nice fella. I don't know, I've never met him, but he seems like looks like a down to earth fella.
Well, I met him for the first time in Manchester when it's Hugh Fury fight week, and his team were really nice. That and then he's he was alright.
Reckons he beat him nil.
Yeah.
Joe Joyce reckons.
Yeah, that was our interview actually, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Reckons he could beat him now. But if I said to you, do you think you could beat Joseph Parker now? What would you say?
Really, listen, I believe I can beat any man in the world, but let's talk sense, right? Let's talk sense. What right have I got even mentioning a world champion in my mouth? Let's be honest, I've got no right. So if you ask me, what do you think you can do with Joseph Parker? I'd say I've got no right to even talk about him. Not at the particular minute. Do you know what I mean? And that's really how Joe Joyce should look at him. What rights he got to talk about world champions? What, because he's beating Lewison on his debut? What, you want to talk about world champions? He went to, listen, his silver medal stayed back in the amateurs with him. That means diddly squat as a professional. Means fuck all. That's what it means. Nothing. And I guarantee you, look, I not even go to the Olympics, and I'm going to win a bronze medal out here on Saturday. I ain't even allowed to go to the Olympics for it. I wonder if they will when I beat them. I wonder if they give me his bronze medal as a goodwill gesture. Should do.
Yeah, when we went to his hotel, they actually got a really nice team. But I can tell you something, he's really confident of grabbing a victory against Joshua. A lot of people are saying that he doesn't hit that hard, Parker, and he's not the biggest heavyweight, but he can definitely take a punch.
Let me tell you something. You don't win a world title. You don't win a world title, regardless what avenue you go down. You don't remain undefeated, no matter who they put in front of you, unless you're talented, unless you can fight.
Is that with exception to Charles Martin, or?
It's got to be for sale. I don't know. I heard he won his world title in a raffle. I don't even think he fought for it, did he? Technically he did win it by default because the fella hurt his knee. So technically it was a raffle, wasn't it? He won the lottery that night. That was it. He won the lottery. But this is how I see it. Joseph Parker outlasts Joshua. Lets Joshua shoot his bolt. Here being. Who would I like to see win? I'd like to see Joshua win, because I don't think anyone deserves the right to beat Joshua other than Tyson.
Is that a fight that you could maybe see happening within the next year?
2019, I think it'll happen.
You see, Tyson Fury recently actually mentioned that, and we know that Tyson Fury can joke around, and sometimes I don't know whether he's been serious or joking, but he said that Anthony Joshua would be the easiest fight of his career. Do you believe there's some truth in that, or do you think that's just mind games and just Tyson being Tyson?
Listen, Anthony Joshua can fight. Anthony Joshua is very talented. Anthony Joshua is an outstanding athlete. But Tyson's got every box of these ticked. He's just got natural attributes and natural ability. There's nothing forced with Tyson. Nothing forced. You watch him, I'll tell you what I do. Go to a gym and watch him train, right? He can get up, he genuinely got up as big could be, right? He's absolute biggest. I watched him do 15 rounds on the pads. Genuinely, straight up off the what's saying, blah blah blah, and like he'd never walked away from boxing. But he's got speed, he's got movement, he ain't there to be hit, he's 6'9", he's a big man. People think Joshua walked through him. Let me tell you something, let him hit you on the chin and see if you walk through him.
Would you say it's the same Tyson Fury that fought Klitschko though? Do you believe he's lost any attributes from 2.5 years ago?
I don't believe so. I don't believe he's lost any attributes. He's still really fast, accurate. He just needs to tune himself in. That's all he needs to do. Just knock a bit of rust off, fight a couple of good level men, and then get in there.
So like I said, do you believe that this could be one of the easiest fights of Tyson's career?
Be the easiest money he's ever earned. Be the easiest money he's ever earned.
Because I know that they say styles make fights, and I can kind of see where Tyson Fury is coming from when he compares it to Klitschko victory, because stylistically Klitschko would have a harder style because he's a more accurate puncher, and also
But
Joshua comes forward.
Work rate.
Yeah, and also Joshua's going to obviously walk forwards.
Yeah, but Joshua got a better work rate. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Where Tyson had that time in between shots, and he had that, Joshua got a better work rate. So that's the only thing. Will Tyson will have a harder night with him than he had against Klitschko, I believe.
Do you think Tyson might have to come off the floor at some point in this fight?
No, he won't take a clean enough shot. He won't take a clean enough shot. But he'll have a hard night. It ain't going to be an easy night, unless one of them knocks each other out. But I see nothing other in that fight. I see nothing other than a Tyson Fury win.
Do you think Tyson can stop him as well?
Conclusive. I genuinely believe Tyson can knock him out. Hand on heart. And I'm not saying that against Joshua's chin, because listen, it's big men fighting. You throw shots at one another, they land, they hurt, people touch down. That's heavyweight boxing. That's why people love watching it. Just got to wait and see, haven't we?
I mean, and there's another heavyweight showdown that got announced recently. To be fair, heavyweight boxing is definitely on the rise from quite a few years ago. I mean,
best heavyweight division we've ever had.
Yeah.
Especially Britain.
And I mean, you've got. It wasn't actually too long ago when you and Lucas Brown had beef on Twitter, and now he's fighting Dylan White for the WBC silver title at the O2 Arena.
Ain't a bad old boy though, you know. He ain't a bad old boy. Yeah, I was giving him stick and he was giving me stick, but he ain't a bad old fella. He ain't a bad old fella. Good fight that, isn't it? It's a good fight that. Like that's what boxing needs.
Do you think it'll replicate Chisora and White, like a tear up?
I think Dylan will be negative this fight. Let me tell you something. Mark Tibbs is a good coach. Mark Tibbs is a good coach. He's a clever coach. He knows. Why would you go and stand with the only thing Lucas Brown's got is strength, really. That's Lucas Brown's strong point's strength. So it's like you saying to me, right, Tom, you can walk through that door, or you can try and walk through the wall. I want to walk through the door, aren't I? So that's the same sort of tactic as what any trainer worth their salt would give their fighter against Lucas Brown.
I mean, I think Mark Tibbs did say recently in an interview about how Dylan White's going to make him look silly with his jab. Yeah. So maybe that is the plan behind it. But we know Dylan White can get goaded into a war. I mean, he did it against Joshua. He did it against Chisora. And he didn't do it against Helenius, which was his latest fight. That was.
I don't even think Helenius was there for a war, was he?
No, it's quite negative as well.
I don't know what Helenius was there for. Cash.
I'll tell you, Helenius is another it's hard to say underachiever. He still achieved a lot. You can't say a European champion's underachiever because it's still a major thing to achieve in the sport. But
no, but considering the backers and the backing that he had, he underachieved. Because let's have it correct.
People were saying he was going to dethrone Klitschko years ago.
Derek beaten the first time. But
some people say he's the best 4-round fighter in the world. Because that's when it goes past 4 rounds. Helenius. Even
Audley Harrison over 3 rounds, I'd love to see. But no, listen, boxing. The thing is, boxing's the long haul. You can't. It's no good. It's no. What is the good of that being the best 4-round fighter on the planet? That's as useful as a chocolate teapot, isn't it? It's not very good at all. Just got. Do you know what? He's done now, and he's finished. There's plenty to follow him now. So. Yeah.
Also, we have Shannon Briggs, who's still hovering around the heavyweight division. If he does manage, well, he could have actually won a world title against Hrgovic, but also failed drugs test, and that would have made him up there with the likes of Muhammad Ali, and somebody, I can't remember who the other heavyweight is, but made mean that 3 heavyweights of all time have won 3 heavyweight versions of the world title. Like coming back, basically a 3-time heavyweight champion.
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's just as well he lost his drug, he failed the drug test, because as good as Shannon Briggs was when he was young, I don't care whether it means disrespect or not, I don't think his name is worthy to be mentioned in the same sentence as Muhammad Ali. That's an all-time great. Shannon Briggs a good fighter, was a very good fighter, but was he a Muhammad Ali? Was he an all-time great? No. So just as well he didn't. He did just as well he did fail a drugs test and not fight for it and win. But that's that really. He's done now. He's out looking for a few quid, and he can't blame him.
Assuming you used to watch a lot of boxing of old,
yeah,
like in the 80s and 70s, and obviously before that, I mean, boxing's changed a lot since then to now. I mean, back then, like I said earlier about the title routes, you only had one option, one road to go down.
You know what gets me when people say Tyson had ruined him, Mike Tyson had ruined him. Mike Tyson's the first person to say, like, sports evolve. Right, I'm gonna put it like this here, right? Sugar Ray Leonard, absolute all-time great, right? Absolute legend, right? But could he have been would he have fared against the middleweights of today, like the Golovkins and stuff like that? Maybe Golovkin's the wrong person to pin him against, because Golovkin's tailor-made for a fight.
Like Marvin Hagler, Golovkin.
Like Marvin Hagler and stuff like that, right? The thing is, this is how it is, right? All sports progress, like footballers, like the standard of football today and back then. So come on, people are running like seconds faster than what they were back then.
Yeah, it's like you couldn't say Usain Bolt, or you couldn't say like Linford Christie or Colin Jackson would beat Usain Bolt in a race today.
Exactly, like, because on paper, it's on paper that you can read their best times and you can read Usain Bolt's best times, but Bolt fractures them, right? So there's conclusive evidence that. So what makes people think boxing is the only sport that stood still, didn't progress, went backwards? Like, athletes progress, sports progress. You couldn't put a Mike Tyson against a Klitschko. You couldn't do it because it just don't work.
So you know how boxing used to be titles-wise, how there were very few titles, as in, like, domestically.
I think it should be like that now, though.
But do you prefer it how it is now, or do you prefer how it used to be? But
it's better. It's better how it is now for the fighters. It is in one sense, because more titles, more money, more opportunities. So there's more opportunities for more fighters.
And more money for the governing bodies.
And yeah, that don't interest me. That's like, fuck them. But the way I look at it is, from a fan, I'm a boxing fan. I love boxing. And from my point of view, I think there should be one belt to determine the one best man in the world. So then people can't dodge one another. I hate it. I hate people, no matter what weight it's at, no matter, I'm even speaking from my own point of view here, I hate people dodging people. I think, look, you want to be the best, you got to be the best. That is it. End of, period. No dodging, no messing about. You want to fight, get out, fight, win, lose, draw. We know who's the best thing.
I think what's changed boxing a lot these days, you see how Floyd Mayweather's brought this undefeated record. He's made like boxing believe that an undefeated record is really important to make a career of yourself, and that's why you get people that fight journeymen for 17 or 18 fights.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't think, but that's cheating, isn't it? That ain't beating 17 ex-world champions and current world champions, is it? Like all good up and coming expiring fighters. Now an undefeated record, if you can say come up through an hard route where you've had to fight other prospects from early on, from early doors, and you remain undefeated, and you've box people at their peak, and still taxi drivers and some ex-world champions past the sell-by date and then retire undefeated, you might as well have not bothered, because that, other than become really rich, you don't really left a legacy behind, have you? Really, you're kidding yourself. That's what you're doing. You're kidding yourself. But that's the thing. I genuinely, the way I look at it is, records are for DJs, and that's it. I couldn't care whether I win, lose or not, as long as I know I've gone out, I've given the best I could possibly give, I've prepared the best I could possibly prepare, then the rest of it's history.
I know, long-term and great friend of yours, Billy Joe Saunders, recently announced to be fighting Martin Murray in London. I believe it's in London. The venue hasn't been confirmed yet, but I can assume it might be like the Copper Box or something like that. But with Terry Flanagan against Maurice Hooker on the undercard, so it's a double world title bill. What's your thoughts on Billy Joe Saunders after coming back from Canada over a career best win, maybe the best win in British boxing for last year? And what's your thoughts on Martin Murray as the opponent?
Martin Murray's had a bit of time out, hasn't he? Had a bit of time out. Good fight for Joe. Still enough. It's enough to keep him on his toes. Enough respect there to bring a good performance out of Joe. And yeah, it's a good solid fight, isn't it? It's a good fight for British fans. A good keep busy fight until he gets the big one.
I think I know the reason. A lot of people said how Martin Murray's over the hill. To be fair, he's coming off 2 good wins against Gabriel Rosado, who's a respectable name in the middleweight division, and against a guy who was 18-3, which was actually on the undercard of the World Boxing Super Series, Scotland and Callum Smith. But I mean, it's a keep busy fight in a sense as well, because obviously Billy Joe is hoping for Golovkin and Canelo.
Yeah, I weren't being out of order by saying a keep busy fight like that there. Like, listen, I think, if I'm honest, I think Martin Murray's had his day at middleweight. He's seen his best day, and I don't think he would have beat Billy Joe on his best day. I just believe Billy Joe's got too much in his tank for the best, who they view the best in the world. So I genuinely believe he's the best middleweight on the planet. So it's a keep busy fight until he gets to prove otherwise.
And it brings him a lot of very good exposure as well, because Martin Murray's a massive name in boxing. He's been around British boxing, been in massive fights, been robbed of world titles in the past as well, Martin Murray. I mean, so it's a good fight that's going to grab a lot of attention as well, especially because it's a domestic world title fight as well.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it needs, isn't it? That's what it needs. It's a good fight for Box Nation. It's a good fight for BT Sport. It's a good homecoming after his performance. So yeah, and it just keep that profile there, and another good performance. Just makes people keep asking that question, and if not just you are asking the question, if like the fans and the public and everyone else are saying, well, who wins out of him, it forces the issue. Golovkin's people, Canelo's people, they've got to give the fight, because then it gets notified that they're running.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a really good thing to see Billy Joe back in the ring so like frequently. It was like almost in his early days how he was fighting often, how he always had a date to look forward to, and then obviously for a while Billy Joe didn't fight, and we saw his career worst performance against Dubakov, and now he's like back looking at his best, well, better than we've ever seen him against Lemieux anyway, and now we've got Martin Murray, and then he's hoping for another world title defence soon after.
About Joe, right, and this is, you say this yourself, you've got to put something up that threatens him to see the best out of him. Pull a man out of a pub and put in front of Billy Joe. Well, not like that there, because he absolutely scored him. But what I'm saying is, Billy Joe raises his level. He don't know how good he is himself, and that's what it is. He likes testing himself. He genuinely don't know how good he is himself. because the better you put someone in against him, the more he raises his game. Honestly, like he's so competitive, it's unreal.
So Billy Joe, I mean, he showed that in the past as well with Jared Fletcher, who was 18-0 at the time. That was a tough fight to take. Wladimir, who I think was 22-0, that's for the European title. Chris Eubank Jr. being another one that he likes to raise his game when it's asked of him.
Listen, he's done it. He's done it the hard way with backing. Let's have it right. He's took people on, and no waiting around, waiting for him to go past the sell by date and that. He's done it as and when, bomb, 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 bomb. And that is what I like to see.
Moving on to the last topic, Daniel Dubois, who's making a lot of noise in the heavyweight division. A lot of people are talking about him.
He's inspiring Filip.
Yeah, he has actually. I was a little bit confused why Filip Hrgovic was actually sparring him. Not sparring him as in, like, obviously Daniel Dubois is good sparring for anybody because he's a good, big, strong fighter, but it's not really the same style as he was.
No, but they think I'm 6'2".
Are they? How tall actually are you?
6'8".
6'8"?
Just under 6'8".
6'8"? Under 6'8".
6'7", 6'8". So, well, they asked me. They said, "You're 6'2", right?" And I said, "Yeah." So that was that. But yeah, they were sparring Daniel Dubois. Don't move his head. Daniel don't move his head. He's got good feet for a strong lad. Daniel has. Daniel's a brilliant prospect. He's an absolute brilliant prospect.
Dave Allen said he's very overrated recently on Twitter.
Dave Allen knows shit.
He did say he was a good fighter, but he just said he's overrated.
No, he's not. Ain't overrated. He's a good, very good stand-up for what he's done. He's a good stand-up for what he's done. Like, let's have it right. Look, I'm not making him out to be the demolition artist that Frank Warren is. What, he knocked AJ Carter out and he's beat Darch. Right, okay, right. Let's have it right. He's doing what he should be doing at the point in his career. Frank Warren ain't no idiot. He's a very clever man when it comes to boxing. He's nurturing him through. He knows he's young. He knows he's got time on his hands with Daniel. So he's bringing him through properly. But let me tell you something. Let Dave Allen stand in front of him, and then let Dave Allen tell you that he's overrated. Because he ain't overrated. He's very good. I've stood in front of him. Got videos on my phone of sparring with him. He's not overrated. The boy can fight. Do I think I can beat him? I know 150,000,000% if I fight him I can beat him. But that don't make him a bad fighter. That don't make him a bad fighter at all. The fact that I believe I can beat him and the fact that I would fight him, I wouldn't sit there. Same as this fella I'm going out to fight. Yeah, I'm not fighting him because I think he's rubbish. I'm fighting him because I think he's good. And I hate that when people disrespect people like, oh, he's overrated. How is he overrated? Hell, what? GB got it wrong when they selected him. Frank Warren got it wrong signing him. What makes him overrated? What makes him overrated? But see comments like that, that's what makes me want to punch people right in the face.
Actually, he's fighting an opponent that you were supposed to fight after Tom Dallas, DL Jones next, isn't he?
That ain't gonna last longer than 30 seconds.
So you think DL Jones is taking that fight for the money?
The first meet they have, that's it. That is it. I guarantee you, mark my words, what I say now. The first jab Daniel pins on him, you'll see the fight get drained out of him. Because DL Jones got no arsehole and got no backbone. Do you know why they pulled out the fight with me? Because I put it on him on the internet. I put it on because I put it on him on the internet. Pulled out completely. That was it. Done. Blocked me on everything.
Do you think he's just taking this fight for the money then?
100%. 100%.
He drew against Darch in his last fight actually.
Yeah. So technically Darch beat him because if you go into a man's backyard and get a...
Well yeah, Darch actually dropped him twice, yeah.
So there you go. Dropped him twice in that. How many rounds? 4 rounds. In 4 rounds? It was a 4-round fight?
Yeah, and he drew,
and
yeah.
they gave him a draw. Right. There you go. That tells you. That tells you, don't really like darts, don't really get on with him, but let's have it, right's right, wrong's wrong, truth's the truth and a lie's a lie. I don't even have to watch the fight. Darts got shafted, didn't he? Dropped him twice and gave him a draw. Someone was on there, button, weren't they? A few quid. He's a ticket seller.
Also, another quick thing that's going on in boxing at the moment. Ahara Davis, I mean, I try not to say my views on this too much because I try not to get involved in boxing. I wouldn't really say politics. I don't like. There's sometimes Ahara. I get on very well with Ahara Davis, and he's always been really good to me in Pav in the past. But he does say some things wrong online.
He puts his foot in his mouth, along with the rest of any controversial character. That is it. Do you want to know what I think the thing is? Right, coming towards the end of the contracts, people wanted a way out with him. There was the way out. There you go. See you later. You've said one thing too wrong now. That's it. Go away. We got no more money to. Where were they going to go with him? Artery got beat with what's his name?
Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor. Where were they going to go with him? Out of there. Out of the fashion he got beat in there. So what they were doing is they thought, right, this is how it looks from my perspective, which my perspective could be very, very wrong, and I'm not saying it's 100% gospel true, but how it looks to me is right. He's lost there. I can put money back into him, try and rebuild him, or I could wait for him to open his mouth and give him the boot. Wait for him to open his mouth and give him the boot. See you later.
Ahara has mentioned in the past he's not a massive ticket seller either.
There you go. I didn't know that either, so there you go. If he don't sell tickets, so that means he don't pay his own way on the show. So there he is, he's a lead ball until he gets another payday, yeah? Right, so what they got to do is he's just a drain, isn't he? He's out his...
What's your opinion on the thought that... So Ahara done an interview the other day with a few other outlets, and he said, I don't